So in the mid-'80s, Cleveland famously won the Rolling Stone poll for where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should go. And by November 24th, 1987, when this piece aired on the WEWS 11 p.m. news, it was the night that Rolling Stone magazine had their 20th anniversary TV special of the magazine. And they reviewed why Cleveland was the rock and roll city and held out the Janglers as the example of the spirit of rock and roll being strong and alive in Cleveland, Ohio. And for Sightful, Jason White broke out of Cleveland, moved to Nashville, had huge chart success when Tim McGraw covered his song Red Rag Top. And his songs have been covered by people as diverse as the guys from Air Supply and Carrie Underwood. And, Jason continues to make Cleveland proud with his work and his achievement. You see a very fresh-faced Jason White in this video. And this has the original lineup of the Janglers. Henry Bruner on keyboards, Dave Blackwelder on drums, Sonny Miller on bass, John Treadway on lead guitar, and Jason White on guitar and vocals. This was a treat to see after all these years, so enjoy this one. Keep on jangling.
News continues.
If you just watched on TV5 about Rolling Stone magazine's 20-year affiliation with rock and roll, well, don't forget about Cleveland. I'm Vince Robinson. Coming up, I'll tell you how rock and roll was born in Cleveland and why it's here to stay.
Did you catch your program tonight on Channel 5 a little bit earlier on the 20th anniversary of Rolling Stone magazine? If you did, then you're in a rock and roll frame of mind just about now, and we think we should point out that Cleveland is and always will be rock and roll's hometown. The first time anyone ever heard the name rock and roll, of course, was when it was born here some 35 years ago. Cleveland's rock roots run deep, and as Vince Robinson explains tonight, the dream is still going strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Janglers, a band born and bred in the city where rock itself was born. Lead singer Jason White is one of many local musicians striving for the brass ring of rock and roll stardom.
It's the most important thing in the world to me.
And to rock and roll, Cleveland is one of the most important cities in the world.
Here he is in person, Alan Freed.
Cleveland disc jockey Alan Freed coined the phrase rock and roll here 35 years ago. Like country western music in Nashville, jazz in New Orleans, or the blues in Chicago, Cleveland is synonymous with rock and roll, and with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that should become even more so. From 1964 to 1971, TV viewers nationwide had their eyes and ears tuned to and TV5's Upbeat Show, hosted by now TV5 station manager Don Webster. That show helped make some of today's stars.
As far as rock and roll is concerned, Cleveland's still considered to be kind of the hub. If you make it in Cleveland, you've made it. Springsteen can tell you that.
Ever since Alan Freed staged the first ever rock concert anywhere here in Cleveland, our city has been a key stop for rock's top acts. Local rock critic Jane Scott has seen them all, and with the attention of the Hall of Fame, she hopes that more Clevelanders make the musical big time.
Help. I hope so. You just still have to have the hard work and talent, and it's a very grueling, long-term situation to get to the top.
That means more of the same hard work and dedication for local bands like the Janglers. As true to Cleveland's past, they keep the dream of rock and roll alive. Vince Robinson, Eyewitness News.
Rock on, rock on. By the way, rock critic Jane Scott, you saw there, adds that another rock and roll tradition she'd like to see return here is a place for high schoolers to go to see rock bands.